Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're doing another 8-4 Magic Origins draft. We opened a playable blue rare, but I'm not going to first pick it. I don't like first picking the 7 drops in this format. It tends to be a pretty fast format. I think we're going to go with Unholy Hunger over the Wild Instincts. They're both pretty optimal removal. Unholy Hunger being 1 mana more, but I think has more potential upside, seeing as it doesn't require you to have a creature. It can destroy anything, and it potentially gains you life. So, first pick, Unholy Hunger, seems fine to me. Other good cards in here, Anchor to the Ether, Goblin Glory Chaser. Someone's probably going to want to be in blue because of the uncommon and the rare. Someone's probably going to want to be in green because of this pack, but the rest are not insane. Goblin Glory Chaser is only okay. Let's take Hunger to start her off. All right. Follow-up pick. Well, let's see here. Best card in the pack is maybe Conclusion. I mean, there is Javelin, which has been underperforming for me pretty hard, admittedly. I could take the Undead Servant. It just seems so early. There's a Blazing Hellhound, which is a pretty amazing card, and that's for the Sacrifice deck. I guess Fiery Conclusion is a great card for the Sacrifice deck, too, isn't it? Works pretty well with Active Treason. Lightning Javelin's more expensive. It's also a sorcery. Fiery Conclusion requires you to have a creature to do anything. We're not going to take a black card. There is Shadows of the Past in here too, but I'm thinking the best card's probably Blazing Hellhound, which, I mean, I'd like to play the Unholy Hunger, so I'm okay picking it. Obviously, the main issue with that is we're passing a red signal by passing cards like Fiery Conclusion and Lightning Javelin, so that makes it more difficult. The problem is also there's just nothing else insane in this pack. I think I'm going to go with the Blazing Hellhound. We'll see if this comes back to haunt me, but we'll find out. Alright, so best card in this pack is probably Chandra's Fury, Aspiring Aeronaut, Stalwart Haven, Eyeblight Assassin is fine. I like Chandra's Fury quite a bit. I like having Assassin, though, since it kills Thopters and gives you a little decently costed body. I'm fine doing either of those, to be honest. None of them are, like, terribly exciting picks. Stalwart Haven is good. I mean, Bound in Crisis is good, too. Definitely some options. I feel like you can always pick up Eyeblight Assassins. I guess you can't always pick up Chandra's Furies, but it's pretty good when you have it. I think I'm actually going to go with the Fury. I think we're more likely to see another Assassin than another Fury, and I'd like at least one Fury since it's a pretty powerful card. Okay, well, good sign. We're past some pretty excellent cards here, actually. I mean, Dragon Fodder works very well with the Blazing Hellhound, but the best card might just be Boggart Brute. In red, at least. I mean, there's some good white cards in here. I could just slam the Topin Freeblade, but I mean, the red cards in here are pretty good too. So Dragon Fodder for the Hellhound or Boggart Brute because it's kind of evasive. There's also Cobble Brute. There's also Deadbridge Shaman. All of these cards are pretty acceptable. I might just take the Fodder because there's some pretty useful cards with it besides Fiery Conclusion. Blazing Hellhound is a good one, but Nantuko Husk, also very good. I think it just works best in this color scheme, if I can make the black-red work. We're not 100% that's working. We are getting past some pretty good white cards. All right, now there's an Eyeblight Assassin. I could start going into white. We have seen some pretty good white fairly consistently, but I mean, Eyeblight Assassin is certainly good enough to pick here. Knight of the Pilgrim's Road might actually be equivalent in strength to Eyeblight Assassin. They both are obviously different cards, but Eyeblight Assassin lets you remove and get a 2/2, whereas Knight of the Pilgrim's Road gives you a lot of value if it can connect. Otherwise, it's just sort of a okay creature. I'm going to go with Assassin here. I think it could be good for us. All right, well, fairly late. Read the Bones. What does this card do? If you would gain life, you gain twice that much life. If you would draw a card, except the first one, you get to draw 2 instead. Oh, it's cool. I doubt it's worth anything, but might as well check since it's mythic. It's only worth a ticket, so I think I'm okay taking Read the Bones. I might drop out of a color if white stays this open. But, I mean, this slate of a Read the Bones is actually pretty good. Read the Bones is certainly good. All right. Shrouding Mist is pretty powerful. I actually like Cobble Brute here. Cobble Brute is a nice card. It beats down well, and if you can play it into some removal, I think it can play very well. So I'm actually pretty happy with that pickup here. All right, second Dragon Fodder I'm pretty happy with. That's a late Celestial Flare. There's also Rogue's Passage, but I'm fine getting all these Dragon Fodders now, actually. They're going to make later Fiery Conclusions better. Macabre Waltz, it's acceptable, not exciting. I guess same with Volcanic Rambler. But I might play one Rambler, so I'll take that. Okay, well, it's only pack 1, so I'll take a tabled Undead Servant. Perhaps no one wants them. I'll take Evolving Wilds here in case I want to splash for something. I mean, regardless, I think I'll play it. All right, we're going to take some white cards. If I was going to drop, wow, third to last pick Watercourser. What is that supposed to tell me? It does seem like white's open. Like I said, I got some pretty late black cards, but I got some decent red cards too. Like, I mean, I got 10 straight up playable red and black cards. Volcanic Rambler is currently my weakest card. All the other ones are very much fine. Undead Servant can be bad if we don't end up getting any more. Like, if I have less than 3, I'm not going to be happy running Undead Servant in this deck, but if I end up with a few of them, I'll be happy. If I can get 4 or 5, I'll be really happy. All right, I think we're gonna be good enough in red black where I'm just gonna try and stick it out in these colors. I mean, second to last pick red card, even though it's a Rambler, it is a playable card, not an exciting one. I would prefer to only play one, but I mean the rest of what we got is looking pretty good actually. Okay, well, Hangerback Walker. I should check the price. I'm pretty sure it's seeing play, but regardless, it's a good card. Yeah, I guess it's worth like 8 tickets, so that's huge. We'll take that pretty happily. There's also a Gear Crafter in here, which I think would be very close. There's also the Undead Servant, but we could table it. But definitely taking the 8-ticket rare here. All right, I'm feeling Fetid Imp. I like the card. Defends well. Not really anything else, to be honest, that are in our colors. More white cards, but I'm pretty happy picking up a Fetid Imp there. Okay. Options now. There's Blightcaster with no enchantments, so I don't like that. There's a Boggart Brute, which is good. There's a Weight of the Underworld, which is not that good, but playable. I might just go Boggart Brute. It's a 3-drop. It's got 3 power. It's got semi-evasion. I think it's actually a pretty reasonable card. But Weight of the Underworld is good, and we're a little bit removal light. I mean, it's not great. Boggart Brute is probably going to be better most of the time. But Weight of the Underworld does deal with things. I could pick up the Blightcaster and hope to find some enchantments, like Infectious Bloodlust actually probably work pretty reasonably with it. I think Blightcaster tends to shine in the black-white deck, though. It might be early enough where I could make a Blightcaster work, but I need quite a few enchantments to really hope to get any sort of value. I think I'm going to take Boggart Brute. I kind of like this card. I think the evasion on it is good enough where I should be happy picking it up. Here's a Caves of Quelos, another Weight of the Underworld, and a Fire Fiend Elemental. I don't think Fire Fiend Elemental is insane. I'm actually going to take the Weight of the Underworld here as a removal card. I could take Caves, or I could take Suppression Bonds. With the Evolving Wilds, I might have the means to splash it and pick up some residual white spells. But Weight of the Underworld is playable enough where I think I'll just take it here. Okay, Boggart Brute number 2 over the second Weight of the Underworld. I think I'm okay with that. I mean, this card is actually pretty decent. Like I said, 3 mana, 3 power is okay, but the evasion on it really does make it a pretty playable 3-drop card. Active Treason actually seems fine for our deck. Not insane, but something that works well with Blazing Hellhound. I guess Touch of Moonglove actually works pretty reasonably well with it too, but we'll take the Active Treason. We're in the right color scheme for it. Okay, well, Nantuko Husk tends to work well with Dragon Fodders, probably works well with Hangerback Walker, Works well with Active Treason, obviously. So, okay. That is enough incentive. This is the right deck for it. I'm going to take the Scout over the Bloodsucker. I just think getting some 2-drops is very nice. And it happens to have some pretty nice synergy with Nantuko Husk on certain board states as well. So, all right. Dragon Fodder. Actually, I think we'll take Undead Servant here. It's early. It's still early enough where 2 Undead Servants, I could potentially get 2 more and make that thing work. And I've yet to make the Undead Servant plan work before. If I can't make it work, I don't think my deck's going to be awful without a 3rd Dragon Fodder. But admittedly, Dragon Fodder is pretty good for our deck. Blessed Spirit's tabling is pretty remarkable. Blightcaster tabling, on the other hand, is actually good enough to pick up here. We'll take the Bloodlust now. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I can actually make this work, to be honest. Blightcaster, probably not. We only have 2 enchantments now, but I'm already ready to cut Ramblers and lower the curve of our deck. So why don't we just do that now, actually? I think that's just easily done. And then our deck actually starts looking pretty nice, to be honest. So we could use a little bit more removal. Unholy Hunger number 2 definitely seems fine. Deadbridge Shaman in here and a Boggart Brute, both of which would be fine as well, but we'll take the premium removal. All right, follow-up pick. Well, Shivan Reef would be nice if I could guaranteed get back the Possessed Scab. Could just take the Sentinel and splash for it. I don't have a problem with that. We already have Evolving Wilds. Otherwise, I'd take a 2nd Active Treason. We do have 2 sack outlets. I just really didn't like how that panned out for us last time. Sentinel is a really remarkably strong card. We're not super color intensive at all, actually. We just have a couple double black spells. Other than that, everything's pretty easy to cast. I think we'll take Sentinel here. I might even find another Evolving Wilds. If it doesn't pan out, it doesn't, but Sentinel is definitely a bomb card. Okay, there's Weight of the Underworld, which works well with the Blightcaster. There's Thopter Engineer, which is just a good card. And there's Avaricious Dragon, which is a very efficiently costed dragon creature. I might just take the dragon. How difficult or how easy is dragon to play, I think, is the real question. And I don't really know the answer to that. I mean, a Crowan Sergeant and Thopter Engineer are going to be pretty consistently good as well. Dragon is very efficiently costed. If you can spew out your hand, I think Dragon's pretty awesome. I guess we'll go Dragon. I haven't tried it yet. It's a mythic, and it certainly seems like a card that's playable. Enthralling Victor tends to work really well with Nantuko Husk and Blazing Hellhound, and it's a 3/2 creature. I think we just want that. And I guess we'd likely get off the Blightcaster plan. I think we kind of want to focus in on our just black-red sort of sack strategy, and Enthralling Victor, like I said, is very good for that. All right, Victor number 2. There's also Reeve Soul, Active Treason, Prickle Boar. Very good options here. I think we probably want the Reeve Soul. It's just cheap removal. We have a pretty decent late game plan already with our Avaricious Dragon and Sentinel of the Eternal Watch. I think I would take Enthralling Victor over Active Treason just because you get a 3/2 body out of it. But with 2 sack outlets, I think I'm good with just the main deck Active Treason and Enthralling Victor and just picking up a Reeve Soul for some nice removal. You know, Fleshbag Marauder seems like a really good card with Victor and Active Treason as well. Albeit a kind of expensive one, but this deck could use some more removal. I'm kind of feeling like we're out of the Undead Servant plan. Just with 2, I don't like it. So let's pick up Fleshbag Marauder. I think we're absolutely going to come up with enough cards here to make this deck work. Could take a 2nd Eyeblight Assassin. Consecrated by Blood works well with steel effects. Chandra's Fury number 2 seems fine, not terribly exciting. How good is the 2nd Eyeblight Assassin? I'm actually kind of unsure on that one. Maybe I do want 2nd Chandra's Fury. I mean, it certainly works well against tokens, and we seem fairly aggressive, like we could beat down. Although, I only have 15 creatures currently, and I am running main deck steel Maybe I want the Eyeblight Assassin. It's kind of difficult. I think there's enough upside of Chandra's Fury to take it here. This is like a second burn spell. All right. Deadbridge Shaman versus second Cobble Brute. I probably want the Shaman. Just get some more low curve cards. And I think I probably just can cut Weight of the Underworld pretty comfortably. Okay. None of these cards are particularly good. I don't really have any enchantments, or artifacts rather, besides the Hanger Backwalker. So, I mean, I still probably take it. I could take Infernal Scarring, but it's not that good. Actually, I'd probably take Screeching Scab, since I'm not going to play any of these cards, and Screeching Scab can be good defensively against me. All right, Macabre Waltz for sideboard, probably better than Return Centaur. Although Guardian Automaton seems like it could be good for opponents. I'm trying to I mean, I'm already cutting the first Weight of the Underworld. Now I'm kind of deciding if I would play a second Cobble Brute. I'm not sure that I would. I might actually play it over a second Chandra's Fury. I think I like it a bit more. 5/2 body with steel effects can be pretty insane. And with double Unholy Hunger. I mean, at the very least, it blocks well. I may run 2 Cobble Brutes. I'm not exactly sure yet. Shadows of the Past I actually like. I'm not entirely convinced I'll play it, but I'm not going to really... I don't think I'm playing the Bloodlusts, even though I already have one. I think our deck is tight enough without it. I'm not sure this is a Shadows of the Past deck, but I like it. I like taking it because it's a potentially, you know, semi-powerful card. All right, we'll hate the Screeching Scab, sure, Deep Sea Terror. So I kind of like the idea of our deck. I still am comfortable splashing Sentinel the Eternal Watch. All I need is 1 Plains and a Evolving Wilds, and I feel comfortable splashing for it. It's a powerful card. Definitely a good finisher. I don't think it hurts the mana base very much. We're not very color intensive, like I said. The only double color spell in the deck right now is 1 Avaricious Dragon and 2 Unholy Hungers, which does not seem all that scary. Our curve is pretty nice. A lot of 2 and 3 drops. I could probably run 18 lands to more comfortably make Sentinel work, but our curve is low enough and we have a Read the Bones where I'm not overly concerned about that. I like the way this deck looks, actually. I think we have 17 creatures with Dragon Fodders, which makes me feel pretty comfortable. We have good removal. Reeve Soul, Chandra's Fury, Unholy Hungers. Very good. I'm trying out Avaricious Dragon. I have a decent feeling about it. Yeah, I think this deck looks fine. I think we run Evolving Wilds, 1 Plains, and I have space for 15 lands, so I can go 7/7. Or I guess I can go 8/7, so sort by color. I guess I do have 2 double black, but our curve, I think, wants the red early, right? Well, I guess we want the black early, too. All right. I think I am actually going to err towards black because we have 2 double black spells, and we're pretty even on black and red early that we need. So might as well just go for more black. So 9 ways to get swamps, 8 ways to get mountains, 2 ways to get plains. Like I said, I think it's actually worth it. Sentinel is a very, very strong card. If you can resolve it, really can just lock your opponent out, especially alongside steal effects. I could imagine tapping down their second biggest fatty and then stealing their fatty and getting in. That could be pretty strong. I like this deck. I think it's fine. Cobble Brutes are... Well, they're at least experimental. I think they're fine in this deck. Fleshback Marauder, like I said, it works well with the Active Treason, works well with the Enthralling Victor. Same with Nantuko Husk and Blazing Hellhound. So excited to see how those work. Wait, why does Fleshback Marauder? I guess Fleshback Marauder doesn't really work with... No, it works well with Active Treason and Enthralling Victor, but not with Blazing Hellhound. But yeah, Steel Effects and Fleshback Marauder, very nice synergy. And actually, Dragon Fodders work well with Fleshback Marauder as well. So he seems like a nice fit. for this deck. And I'm excited to try out Avaricious Dragon. I think Hangerback Walker potentially should be very good for us. Especially since you can just keep making it bigger. It seems pretty insane on turn 2. Okay, I like the deck, running it like this. I can even sideboard into Chandra's Fury if we play against a lot of tokens. I don't think I would sideboard into a Blightcaster plan, but I also have Macabre Waltz. And actually, Shadows of the Past seems like a reasonable sideboard plan against the slower control blue-black decks. Could be a nice win condition. If they have a lot of removal, Shadows of the Past, I think, could do some good work for us. But, all right, I'm pretty comfortable with this deck, running it like this, and we'll see you round 1.